I make sure Sharon's ready before I get in trouble with Sharon. Well, good morning. What a beautiful day we have at 640 Frank Yost Lane in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And if you didn't know, that's the official address, 640 Frank Yost Lane, for the home of our newest Spec building number 12. I hope you can join me in giving a big round of applause to this beautiful building that's behind us. Let's give it a round of applause. Of course, I know John Crenshaw is in the audience with us this morning, and want to thank John and his leadership as really the project manager of this, working very closely with Bradham Construction, a local general contractor that put this beautiful building up for us. I don't see Greg here, but let's give John and Greg a big round of applause for their efforts as well. If you can't tell, I'm pretty excited about what's behind me and what stands before us as a community and a region. Just over a year ago, on March 4th, 2021, on a day similar to today, bright blue skies, good warm sunshine, we had this beautiful Kentucky day to break ground on what was going to become this building. Just over a year later, we come today to celebrate the completion of the project. Now let me clarify. It's not going to be naturally ventilated forever. There is glass on the way, and we do have a small number of finishing touches that need to get done. But minus those small touches, we've got this beautiful project near completion and the opportunity that it truly represents. The opportunity to create new jobs for our region. The opportunity to provide a business with a tremendous investment opportunity to enjoy generations of success. The opportunity to change lives for our residents. And the opportunity to improve our regional economy. So today, the key word is opportunity. Our community has invested in this opportunity. The City of Hopkinsville, Christian County Fiscal Court, and the Industrial Foundation showed the courage to invest in this opportunity. So they've taken the serious age-old adage of it is better to be prepared for an opportunity that never comes than it is to be unprepared when opportunity comes. With this building behind me, our community is prepared and is ready to win. And you know who else is committed and ready to win? The great partners that have helped make this building happen. Many of them sitting with us and several of them sitting behind me. But I want to recognize each one of them individually and ask you to hold your applause till the end. Partners to help make this opportunity a reality. The Hopkinsville Industrial Foundation, Community and Development Services, Planners Bank, Frank Williams and his team, the Cabinet for Economic Development, the Kentucky Association for Economic Development, and the Tennessee Valley Authority. Let's give those partners a big round of applause, and any that I might have left off inadvertently, for their fantastic support and for their commitment to ensuring that this building took place and that we now have the opportunity to fill it with an awesome company and industry that calls Hopkinsville their next new home. To help us celebrate, I want to welcome a few guests to the microphone. First and foremost is our good friend and hometown guy, the Commissioner of Business Development for the Cabinet for Economic Development. He needs no introduction. All I want to say to him is, Commissioner Taylor, we appreciate you, and we ask that you keep helping us get this building sold. Commissioner, come on up.
Good morning. What a beautiful day. The sun is shining so bright in Hopkinsville. You have a very bright future. Now, I understand Judge Tribble is not here. He's off attending March Madness. Well, in the professional economic development, we are also experiencing March Madness. We're seeing the size and scope and scale of projects. I'd be fortunate to see one of these every 10 years. I'm seeing 4 to 5 a month. It's truly amazing. Broke records, 264 projects last year, $11.2 billion, over 18,000 jobs that pay more than $24 an hour. Mayor Lynch, Judge Tribble's not here. Partnership Board Member Elizabeth McCoy, Magistrate Gustafson, Magistrate Councilman West, any other elected officials, Judge Mansfield, Bess, Bob, and Clay, all great partners. I'll tell you a little bit of a story about Bess. Bess was new at TVA, and she and I were out on a helicopter tour looking at some property, our very first visit. And I got a call on a really exciting project that she was going to run in her hometown. And I told her, Bess, you see what happens when you run around with Jeff Taylor? But, folks, it's real simple. Communities that have prepared and will prepare are going to win projects. The speed is amazing. They want to be from shovel to operation in 18 months, 2 years. It's unheard of. Spec buildings are instrumental in doing this. While I was at TVA, I designed a quick-turn spec building program on rail, and I sold a whole lot of properties. Many communities do not have these. We're getting projects that are specifically requesting spec buildings. So I commend you on this. What I say that is you already go ahead and start planning your next one, because this one's gonna sell very, very quickly. I commend Carter for the great job on this. Sharon, Carter and I have a great working relationship. I hear from Taylor Hayes often, and Sharon and I have known each other for probably 30 years. Now the governor has some ideals that he wants to do, and I'm very much behind it, and I hope that you all will get behind it too. But he's asking the General Assembly for $250 million for site development, site acquisition, and infrastructure improvement. Folks, this is a competitive team sport, and I do not like to lose. When I was at TVA, when I lose a project, my boss would come by and look at my face, and he would laugh because I would be tore up. I do not like to lose. And again, it's going to be all about preparation. I'm going to close with these final comments, and this really relates to Hopkinsville in such a unique way. Our governor, you may not realize this, in our state currently has the most diverse cabinet in the entire history of Kentucky. Take this a step farther. Not only the entire history of Kentucky, but the entire history of any state ever. We have the most diverse cabinet ever. It's a selling point. Companies are asking about diversity when they come to communities. And Carter tells a great story with Merrill Lynch, with me, also with the governor's cabinet, his chief of staff, his general counsel are African American, the secretary of the cabinet is African American, the secretary of transportation is openly gay, the secretary of energy and environment is female, and I can go on and on. And I'm so proud to be a representative from Hopkinsville there, because we all know quite Hopkinsville and Western Kentucky in general is left out of the cabinet. So I'm very proud to represent you. And it's always nice when I see people from Hopkinsville, like my good friend Daryl, and they give me a big bear hug. You guys do not realize how much that means. And also the support, even the political differences. When I served as your state representative, the people that got behind me, they were on opposite sides of the aisle. So it's very important what you're doing here. Celebrate that, the diversity among that cabinet, diversity among this community. It is a huge selling point. Hopkinsville is primed, poised, and ready to land a big one. The next time I'm here, it will be for a ribbon cut. Keep up the good work.
Mr. Commissioner, thank you again for coming today and for the support the state has provided to this building. And just so you know, the folks behind us have helped us support the project financially through the cabinet, through the Kentucky Association for Economic Development, and through TVA. So we certainly appreciate their strong show of support from day one and the ongoing support they provide in coaching and counseling at each step along the way. So with that in mind, I'd like to ask Mr. Bob Helton, who's the chairman of the Kentucky Association for Economic Development, to also come forward and offer some comments from KAED. Bob, come on up.
Good morning. We certainly appreciate the weather the Chamber of Commerce has brought us today. This is fantastic. And I do have an acquaintance and know several people in the audience. In a previous life, I was in the railroad business and spent a good deal of time around this area, and have always been impressed with this area and the initiative and the go-getting attitude down here. So I commend you folks for that. I am representing KAED, the Kentucky Association of Economic Developers, and wanted to talk just a bit about the program that we are very proud to be in partnership with the cabinet on, called Product Development Initiative, or PDI. Out of that grant fund came $500,000 toward this building, and it's exactly the kind of thing that we had in mind when we started that. Hopkinsville application was one of the first in our. We've been in the process 3 years now. Hopkinsville was one of the first. This current year, just a few weeks ago, we announced awards of 9 new projects that's going to amount to about $3.6 million. And the purpose of these dollars is to do just what you're doing here, to prepare for industry, to make the community more sellable, to have a site ready for an industry to come in. And it's just absolutely, as the commissioner said, it's just absolutely important to be ready for those industries when they're looking, because the speed of the world now is in high gear and going faster. So it's hugely important to us, and we appreciate the partnership with the cabinet, as well as 900 plus members KED has, which includes the utilities, which contribute strongly to this fund as well. So we appreciate that. We congratulate Hopkinsville on what you have, and just keep going. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And we know that Matt Tackett, who is the executive director, couldn't join us today. Clay's here with us from the staff of the team there. But Matt, I believe, is working the advocacy legislative role that is so important to making sure our industries and manufacturers across the Commonwealth have what is needed to be successful here, along with economic development organizations. So we appreciate the strong support from KAED. Next, I'd like to introduce our good friend Bess Hubbard, who was actually here yesterday for a different reason, but is back to offer comments on behalf of TVA. Bess is the manager of product development, so she has the pleasure of visiting communities just like ours to help them put products on the market just like this. But I think she's prepared to tell you none of them are better than the one she's sitting in front of today. Right, Bess?
All right, no pressure. So I'm so proud to be here today to celebrate this beautiful new Spec building with our many partners. Those, of course, that have already been acknowledged, and then also our partners at Penny Ryle, RACC. You know, at TVA, we really recognize the importance of having available sites and buildings in your inventory, and especially in today's marketplace. And so through our product development program called Invest Prep, we're able to help communities just like Hopkinsville to make their sites and buildings more marketable and ultimately put those communities in a more competitive position so that they're ready for recruitment opportunities. With Carter and Sharon's leadership, and then with the partnership of TVA Invest Prep, this Spec building here in Commerce Park is now well situated for economic development opportunities. On behalf of TVA and our staff, I do commend the many state and local officials that are making those economic development opportunities available, and who have also been a part of getting this Spec building up and built. So do look forward to the day that we're back for a ribbon cutting. I feel like that will not be too far away, but continue the partnership that we have and look forward to what else you all have up your sleeves. Thank you.
Thank you, Bess. And I noticed that we have good Kentucky blue shoes on today, so she's in Wildcat country and she's appropriately dressed, no doubt. But Bess, we do appreciate you and your ongoing coaching and support for products and initiatives just like the Spec building that we're standing behind, or in front of this afternoon, this morning. Before I close this out with comments, I do want to make 2 acknowledgments. Bob was speaking to me just before we got started about his experience selling a Spec building in Moorhead just a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, and how now when he drives past that, it brings a smile to his face. Well, I know that I speak on behalf of Sharon and Tony and John Crenshaw and all that have been involved with this building to say we're looking for another reason to smile every time we come down Pembroke Road. And certainly I'm smiling today, but I want to smile even bigger because we've announced that next new company and we're cutting the ribbon for their operations, which we hope to be doing in the not too very distant future. And then second, you may have seen this guy, and he didn't know I was going to do this. You may have seen this guy walking around taking pictures. His name is Bobby, and he's doing some internship for Sarah Whitaker right now. Bobby is a military man from Fort Campbell who's processing, yes, give him a round of applause. But he's processing out of the military, and if I'm not mistaken, might be looking for work in this region as an expert in social media marketing and some other areas of background. But I just wanted to point out that he's doing this work on behalf of Sarah and her team that's helping us out today. And if we have an opportunity to support soldiers and their families, I know this region always steps up to do that. And we get it. I'm almost done. So with that in mind, I just want to acknowledge that our secret weapon when we're recruiting a company to this region is our friends at Fort Campbell and the incredible power and economy and workforce that they represent. And so Bobby, thank you for being here and thank you for your service to the country, and best of luck as you continue looking for the next opportunity. So March 4th last year, we said this to you: if they build it, if you build it, they will come. This borrowed line from the great movie Field of Dreams was meant to suggest that investing in this building would bring clients, prospects, and ultimately new business. We stated that we wanted it sold before it was finished. Well, it's not quite sold yet, but it's also not quite finished yet. So we haven't yet lost that battle, but we are confident that this 100,800 square foot building with 38-foot eaves, 12 dock bays, access to Highway 41, less than 10 minutes from Interstate 169 and I-24, with over 464,000 in the regional labor shed, in an award-winning community, in an awesome region, it's going to sell. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. In fact, activity is hot on this building as we speak. And I'm not just saying that to be a salesperson. I don't think there's one of you that's necessarily going to buy it to start a manufacturing organization in the crowd. They might be online, but it's hot. It really is. So we encourage anyone that may be interested to act fast, because we don't think the building is going to be around much longer. We've built it, they're coming, and they're bringing opportunity with them. Now we're going to get to the ribbon cutting for spec building number 12 so we can get the building ready to welcome home the next new company to southwestern Kentucky, where industry succeed in our fertile lands because of our hardworking hands, where life is a lot less taxing and a lot more relaxing. Call us today at 270-885-1499 because we're ready to get this building sold and have another reason to smile in southwestern Kentucky. Thank you. Let's get to the ribbon cutting so you can get inside, enjoy some cookies and refreshments, tour the building. Thank you all for being here. Give yourself and this opportunity another big round of applause. Thank you guys again. Share.